Welcome! It's been ages, I know. Not for lack of me not recording videos, but for lack of me editing videos. Because we all have a bit of virtual insanity. This is a VR headset, if you didn't know. Virtual reality, it is not at the moment. It's a bit crap. It's really not there yet. This has been out a year now. But 2 or 3 good quality titles, mostly demos and stuff. Unless you really like to get on the forefront of tech or play with like little crappy demos and just see what it is at the moment. There's nothing I would say AAA there yet. This video I think I'm going to do a couple of things that are non-games. Let's put on the headset, pick up the digital drumsticks and have a little play. And we're in. Okay, first thing I wanted to show was video playing. So it's nothing to do with games at all this. It's basically videos that will look better in VR. And there's different formats, and HTC came out with this Vive video, which is it's basically an ALE release. Hopefully it will get better. 2 years ago I did something on VR and included video and the different types, and we basically have like the 3D video you would buy for a 3D TV with glasses. Then we also have wraparound video, so you may have like a YouTube 360 video, or you've used a little codec 360 camera to capture. So basically that's a mono video. It's not in 3D, but it wraps around you in a sphere. So this video viewer, I'll quickly show you how you can play the different ones, the different types of video. So we'll quickly go into this player and I'll show you the basics of it. So on your computer you create a couple of folders, and you break those folders up for the type of videos you're going to have. That's what I've done anyway. So if we look at 360 video on here, so I've got videos that I've downloaded. If you search for 4K video, I think it's 4K downloader. Okay, so now we've done that, we've put those videos in the folder. This is basically what I have here. Gorilla's video, which is playing on YouTube in 3D. You can play it on your mobile phone and rotate it using the sensors and look around. But here I've downloaded that, and I'll probably get commercials from Gorillas on this. I apologise for that. And then when we click on that, it'll come up with YouTube, as you can see here. And I'm actually inside this 360 video now, which is so much better than I watched this. I really like Gorillas, and I watched this on my phone and on a tablet, and it was cool. But this is so much better. And I say, even though this is basically just a fixed position, so it's like you're the moped on a stick, and the stick doesn't move, but you can look around. You're fixed to that single rotation point. And jump back out of this again, so I'll explain something. When you click on the videos, let's go on this Star Wars one. I want one that's a bit quieter. So when you click on this, it doesn't always know what kind of video it is. So you have to go to the eye over here. So if we click on this, a YouTube video would be mono, because if you imagine stereo, you'd have to have two 4K spheres, and both of your eyes would be in a different sphere, but just slightly offset for the 60mm or whatever your pupil distance is. So I don't know if that's a thing yet on YouTube. I believe at the moment it's just mono, so it's just one sphere and you're inside of it, and that's basically what you have to set if you've downloaded the YouTube videos. And you have different, is the offset, is it side by side, or is it under or over? And what that means is it'll just be a 2D video still, but they'll split the eyes up and they'll put them on top of each other below. And then you'll see that when you try and play the mono, you'll see them just staggered on top of each other side by side, and you can pick which one it is. And I'll show you that in a bit with some of my 3D kind of TV videos. But on here we'll just pick mono, because it's from YouTube, it's just one sphere. And then what kind is it? Is it wrapped around? Is it flat? Or is it 360? So this is 360. And then it'll wrap around us, so we can see as I spin around, we're inside this sphere. And down there is the Death Star, blown up, I think, those pesky terrorists, rebels. So we just click done then, and we can play it, and it's going to blast us out. And it kind of feels immersive. There is the Death Star. Whoa! So this is pretty epic. It's not 3D, but it looks impressive as hell. It looks pretty amazing. So we have I don't know what this is. Is it a fan-made thing or it's a real LucasArts clip? I don't know. But if you've got a VR headset, you can go and try it. So I will not spoil that, but so these videos, they are all from, let's just jump into say Edge of Space as well, just to show the difference. And again, it thinks it's a 2D.
Right now you're only floating a few feet above the ground, just over 800 feet above sea level, but you're about to go much higher, on a journey to the edge of space. As far as the Seeker team knows, this is the first time something like this has ever been done before in VR. Thanks to the weather balloon above you, you'll soon reach speeds of over 65 miles an hour as you travel out of the
So let's go up altitude a little.
the airplane. Now might be a good time to look down. Right now, the air pressure is about 90% lower than it is back on the ground. Cameras and equipment fell back down to Earth where our Seeker team tracked and found...
Yeah, well with that, they probably just used the crappy 4K recording camera, and you can tell the bitrate was really low and it was terrible. That's what I say, we really need like super high bitrate, super high resolution for these videos for them to look great, because we're just focusing on a very small part of that video. Now let's go to 3D movies. Now I say these are basically what you would watch on your TV, but with glasses on. So you're basically looking at a rectangle that is in 3D, but using real screens like this, one for each eye, we get the most immersive thing. So let's. I've got a few movies here. I've got a Blu-ray, so I've kind of ripped them off and put them on my drive. So they're just in a movies 3D directory. And let's go to the Hubble, IMAX Hubble. Now we see with this, it's basically the same image side by side. Well, it's not really, it's offset for the IPD, so it gives you the stereo. So we need to go in there and tell the thing that it's side by side stereo. Next, and it's just flat. It's not a wraparound image, it's just like we've got a big TV. And then we go to the settings over here. Somewhere we can play with the size. So it's like we're sat in this room here, it's like we're sat watching a TV, but obviously we can play it and we can put it full size. So you could just sit on your couch here, and if you look away from the screen, you can, I want to do that. It will give you that message to pull the trigger. I don't know where my couch is. So if I sit on my couch, I can just look away, pull the trigger, and I'm in the center. So I can just sit back and relax and watch this. I made it as big as possible. You can also, like, if you look away, and then you can look up or down. Now we're in Google Earth VR. I think this is absolutely tremendous. Now I'm a person who will sit on Google Maps and just browse for hours. So you may not like this, but I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely, click start on here. It's tremendous, really is. So basically you're a giant, you're probably 1,000 foot tall to start off with, and you're on Google Earth, or you're in Google Earth, and Google, they must have some algorithms that build really accurate tree models. So you can see what I can see, hopefully, and I don't know what town this is it Florida? No, it's not Florence, I don't know where we are. So what we can do is, we have two different modes. We have like a vertical looking down mode, where we can zoom out the planet Earth. So this amazing planet that we're destroying the fuck out of, we can just spin it round, we can look, we can grab the sky, and we can change where the sun and shadow is night and day. So we start to see our cities, how they light up at night time. It's just, the 3D is tremendous. It's like I could just hug the Earth at the moment if you're into that kind of thing. We've got the Milky Way behind us at night. Obviously we can only see the stars at night. We'll bring the sun around and light things up, so we can just browse around here like crazy. We've got Africa here, Europe, UK, here we've got Greenland, Iceland. It's absolutely amazing. So we can zoom into, let's get rid of that again. Yeah, we do have a menu, so you can do tours. You've got feature tours, you can do scenery, mountains, different cities, other things that it likes, nature. You can save places as your favourite. You can turn maps on, you can add the music. Let's turn the music off for now so you can hear me talk. Human scale, so you can zoom right down. But when you're really, really close, the resolution's not that good as you would expect. So let's go somewhere. Well, where I am at the moment is in Seattle. So if we zoom out at the US, or North America, if you will, so Mexico, US, Canuck land. We zoom in, we're well up here in Seattle. So we got Oregon here, Portland, up to Seattle. So Seattle, you basically got the Olympic mountain range here. It's not on the Pacific like you would think when you're looking at the US. And you've got way back in, so you've got 2 or 3 hours drive, and you've got the Puget Sound here, and the San Juan Islands goes up into Vancouver and Canada. Now Seattle is squashed in between the Puget Sound. You can see Benjamin. This is just so easy to look around and see what's going on, just in this looking down view. So you can see Seattle squashed between Lake Washington here, north and down. You've got Renton. The airport is here, SeaTac, and Seattle-Tacoma. And I live up here, around here at the top of the lake somewhere. I used to work up here into the Mukilteo area, and this is Boeing, so you'll see a lot of Boeings here. This is where they assemble, they have the final assembly line for a lot of the aircraft. You'll see a lot of 787s here they're working on. If you go down to Renton, it's where they do a lot of the smaller aircraft, the 737s and such. There's another airfield over here where they have a lot of the museum, so you can zoom in here, you can see a lot of old planes and whatnot. This is all top down, so if we press our right button, we're going to kind of close in navigation mode, so we can really zoom in here and everything's in 3D. And you can see when we zoom in, it kind of focuses on the spot because of loading. So it's loading in that really fast. And we can actually fly, we can move the cursor around, we can kind of cruise along and fly by here. But it's an amazing feeling when you go somewhere, especially and so here we're going into the airfields on about, so we've got some military here, it looks like some AWACS aircraft here, with the radars on the top. So we go along a little bit, we should have the Museum of Flight. So they've actually got some of the aircraft here, this is the car park. And we see when we move, it's focused and it all loads and it's like, boom, the world's around you and you are there. It's pretty incredible. And here we have some old DC aircraft, some old war bombers. Is that a Flying Fortress? Maybe. I should know my aircraft, but they're not super clear. They're not rendered so well, but they're good enough so you can see them. So yeah, here we've got the Concorde, we've got a 747 over here. Absolutely delightful detail, and we can just zoom out a little bit and we'll be like, oh, where's Seattle? Oh, it's down here. And you can kind of point on it and grab it and zoom in. So we can zoom into this town here. We've got the sports stadiums. You can even see the detail of the light rail going down to the airport. We can zoom into the city, rotate to get whatever angle we want. There is no rotation that controls, you just have to turn your body. And then we can see the whole city here. You can see ferries, but they're in 2D, they're not modeled. So there's a ferry, a car ferry, that probably goes over to Bainbridge Island or something like that. Over here we have the port, we've got Aki Beach. Over here is a really nice area, a lot of people live because it's quite close to the town, so you can see you can zoom in and you can see the geometry here, you can see the beach. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, even when I was looking around where I live, and so we're kind of over here, and I was jogging, and I even found this route where there's a golf course, so I run along here, and there's this little route, and there's a park over here, and I even found this hill, which I run up. So I can see I run up this hill. Well, I did run up that once, but I run it kind of zigzaggy now, found an easier way. And you can see geometry just like, so you can review where you're going to go. You can even buy a house, and you can say, oh, what's it like around here? Really see the geometry. It's absolutely pretty fantastic. So So you can see, like, I'll try and compare if I get down and show a photo of this. This is like the algorithms that Google they've created from all the map scenery. I mean, it's a little bit imperfect, but for what it is, it's fantastic. And if they can improve on it, it's, who knows where it's going to go. And you zoom out a bit, and you can then start to see the mountains. This Pacific Northwest is absolutely fantastic. You've got many volcanic mountains in a big line. So this is Mount Baker. The Cascades is the ridge that runs along. So you can actually just fly along here, and I don't know if I could name them all. I believe this is Rainier. This one close to Seattle, and then I was actually looking for St. Helens. Yeah, so this is St. Helens, which is quite obvious because I believe in the 80s, was it 82, remember right? It blew up. So they've rendered this quite well because it's on the tour of scenery, so it's quite well done. Actually, if you visit this, you can see it's still steaming out of here. They don't really have that detail, but it's pretty awesome. You can actually see the side of it fell out, and the direction it went, I believe there was a guy still in here, and there is a little lookout somewhere. If I can find it. Oh, this is it, yeah, so I think it's Johnson Lookout. So you can drive up here, there is a road down, and I believe the guy who stayed when the thing blew up got killed, so they paid respect to him by naming this after him. I don't have the labels on, but I think it is Johnson. So yeah, the detail, if you're going to go on a holiday somewhere, you can really get an idea of if it's what you want. Like if you didn't know it would be mountainous, or you didn't know how busy it would be, how big the suburbia was, or the city, or if we go to where I live now, so you can see if you know the map, like you grew up in a place, you can really navigate quite fast into things, and you can look where. I mean, it's amazing to grow up somewhere. I grew up in this town called Blackpool in England, which is a very touristic, a bit tacky town. It's kind of dated, but it's really quite a nice place out in the city here. You can see it's very crushed against the town, and the rest of it's just beautiful countryside. So I can zoom in to. I still have a house in a town out here, but where I actually grew up, over here, I can rotate into that, and I can just see this whole area where I grew up, and I know all these places, and I've seen maps before, obviously, but you just don't see it with this kind of proportions, obviously. I've flown over it many times in planes. I used to work at a military aircraft place up here, which is watered. Where'd it go? Here. So I used to work here, and I used to fly from here up to Scotland quite a lot. So I'd fly over this town. I dropped the sky then, so you can make quite nice views of things if you zoom in. If this was your farm, you can zoom in here, and you can say, I want a picture of that. I want to see what it's like at night time, so you can just bring the sunset down. So, oh, ain't that pretty? Ain't that pretty? You can see all the hills around there and whatnot. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty spectacular this. If you have a Vive, Oculus, or any of the Samsung, I guess, if it works on that, there's so many features in this town that, I say I grew up and I knew. So there's like a high school I went to, there's a water tower, we have like a mini Eiffel Tower, there's piers, there's a huge pleasure park over here. And I just know all this like back in my hand, obviously, because I grew up here. This was on the beach like 100 years ago. It's called the Pleasure Beach. They brought it back to land and it got quite a bit bigger. You can actually get down and look at the rides and stuff. The Big Dipper, this is the big one, which is a lot more modern. There's some stuff here I didn't see, I've not been for a while. The Space Invader, there's the roller coaster, which is really old rickety ones. It's very much, if you're American, it's very much like Coney Island, just bigger. There's a park here I used to run around called Stanley Park. I was here last time with my mother, and I took some drone stuff, So what I'll do is I'll show you this. I believe I flew from here in the drone, from this bridge. So we can get down here and I will overlay some drone footage of this area so you can compare. And then we went to this garden and actually went to this is actually a cafe, this beautiful building here, and we sat outside with my mum and had some stuff. I flew down here with the drone, clicked out this really nice clock tower. Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. It's this Google Earth VR. It's free. It's free, so you have VR and you're wondering what to play with or you want to impress the family with. The controls take a while, but there is a little tour, so that'll work you through it, and it will definitely give you a different view of where you live, and maybe if you're going to go on holiday somewhere and you want to navigate, it really give you a really good idea where things should be. For as bad as navigation here. If you ever go to England, just ignore the rest of it and go to the Lake District here. It's by far the nicest place. And if you're going to go specifically where, Windermere is a bit busy, Ambleside, yeah, you can miss that and go to Coniston, because Coniston's a delightful old town. And you can walk up from the hill, you can walk up the Old Man Coniston there, beautiful hill. It's a place to go. It's like a tourist show. It's like a tourist destination. So yeah, I'm just like flicking between kind of, I've got to be dizzy then, which mode I was in. And so yeah, that is Google Earth, and absolutely, I love it. It's free. I hope they can make this better and better. I can imagine games like this where you're managing like wars between countries and you have to manage the resources, or if it's like the old Populous game where you're like playing God and you're managing the people and raising land, and this would be a fantastic way of doing it. You know, in VR, it's so much more information just visually. It's so easy to browse than using a mouse and keyboard on a 2D screen. So I definitely see a future for this kind of thing. If people, if they get away from the kind of restricted games they're doing at the moment, there's a couple of AAA games VR coming out. Hopefully 4 out of 4 VR would be good. The Batman game, I might play with that. I think that's just been released. So that should be really, really cool. I don't know where the camera is, but this is a couple of things, non-games on VR. I hope you like this video, and if there's anything you want me to play with or future videos, I need to get re-inspired because I've not done any for a few months, then maybe I will. And I'll see you in maybe in virtual reality, maybe in Tech Tidbits, maybe on the motorbike, who knows. See you in the next one. Bye bye.